Today we're making a picture of the White House. It's a great craft for President's Day. And what you're going to need is 3 pieces of paper, scissors, and a glue stick. Or you could use tape. In this example, I taped the pieces on, and you can see it stands up a little, so it looks more 3D. This example, I used a glue stick and just taped it on, so it's more flat looking. You can do either way. It's faster with a glue stick, so that's what we'll do today. And here's just 3 pieces of cardstock or construction paper that I used. So the first step is to cut the black piece of paper all the way across into one long strip. This is going to be the base of the house. I picked blue paper, but you could use any kind of paper you like, any color for the background. But I did use cardstock, which is a little thicker. Same with the white, which we fold in half. Because now we're going to make the base of the house. So just fold it in half a couple times, back and forth. And then we're going to cut across. And you actually only need these 3 pieces of paper. So here, we're speeding it up so you can see what's next. Once you have the bottom 2 pieces, we're going to cut off a little bit of the long piece, the long white rectangle. So you just make it a little straighter. Oh no. Okay, this is the house. I'm just going to glue that on. And the base as well. I'll just fill it full of glue on the back. So we'll start by placing this near the bottom, but not all the way at the bottom, because you want to put the base. I'm going to put the base over the white. Again, it gives it kind of a 3-dimensional look. So now just put a little bit of glue right underneath white. And before you do that, trim it so it's about as long as the page, because this was construction paper and it was a little longer than the cardstock. If it's all the same size paper, then you wouldn't need to do that. So then just glue it on. Okay, so now we have this little piece. We can use it as a door. Just kind of find where it is in the middle. Put a little glue on the paper and put the door on. All right. So now we're going to cut some of the columns that go in the front. So we take the first one that I'd already cut, and we're going to use that to measure the next ones. So just go all the way across. Now you have the size that you need for the columns. Now actually this one's a little thick, so I'm going to trim it down a little bit. It's maybe about a 1/2 inch. Okay, so that's going to be one of them. Now we just need 3 more. And I guess I'm going to mark the first one, move it down, mark the second one, and move it down one more time for the third. the extra columns. Okay, now I'm going to glue these on. First, make sure you know where you want to put them. So just position them so there's two on either side, evenly spread apart. And then just glue them on, each one. And have them a little bit on the black at the bottom, so that, again, it looks a little more three-dimensional, like it's in front of the house. All right, now we've got the columns. Now we're going to make the windows. Cut out another long strip all the way across, and we're going to need a total of 22 windows. So I'm just cutting them up real quick. 4 for the top, 4 for the bottom on the right side, and then we have 1 between each column at the top and the bottom. You can see here how they're going to be. And I looked at the picture of the White House, and there actually are 22 windows at the front. So we want it to be fairly accurate. So we put 1 at the top of the door, and then on the left side of the columns. And now we do 4 for the bottom, and then 4 for the top. You don't even need a whole strip. Now we're done with the black. So just position them so that they're pretty evenly in a row going across on each side. And then we're going to glue them on. Now, put a little bit of glue on your finger, and then that way you can pick them up easily. Just more sticky. And so now you just touch it with your finger, put the glue on, put it back down, and then use your other finger to hold it in place. And just keep going all the way across, down at the bottom. So you have all the windows attached. Now if you decide to do this with tape, you just have to do everything like double-sided, and it does have more of a 3D effect. So we just finish up with all the different windows. And here's the last one. Now we have the windows on. All right, the last part is the top. So we're going to cut out some more strips with the white. And this is going to go all the way across the top. So even though our paper isn't long enough, we're just going to cut 2 strips, and there'll be something over top of it, so it doesn't matter. So you see, 1 will go here, and it hangs over just a little bit. And then we'll get another piece about the same dimension across. Well, it's actually smaller, so that's how it's going to look. We'll just glue those down, and those will be covered up, so it doesn't matter that there's a break in between them. That's the top part of the house, and then we're going to make the roof. And I'd say this is also a little skinnier than the columns. I mean, you could measure all this, but doesn't have to be exact. Alright, now I'm going to make the top. So, the first thing we need to do is cut another strip. And we're still using the same piece of paper. In fact, it's almost, you don't need more than one piece, but you almost use everything up within it. So now you're cutting 2 pieces with this rectangle that's left. And this is what's going to go on top of the house next. One is going to be right above the other, so this makes it look like it's coming out from the house a little bit, and this piece on the top is going to be slightly shorter. That's how it's going to be positioned. And then you're going to make the little pointed roof at the top. So let's go back to these smaller pieces, and we're going to make the point, the triangle at the top. So first thing is you just kind of cross them at the top, put one at the bottom of the rectangle in front. You kind of cross them so that they make a triangle, and eyeball it a little bit, pull them up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to trim them so that they're the triangle, and then we'll glue them together. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. And there's plenty of white paper. If you make a mistake, you can still do it. So I'm just going to glue the tips of them together, and just follow the cut that you did. We'll set that aside for a second, and now we'll glue these 2 larger pieces on. So first the longer one, and then above it is the slightly shorter one. And then we're going to add a triangle at the top. Just make sure you have an idea of where you'd like it, and trim it so it's a little more even. And then put glue on the back of both of these, and put it on top. And here's 3 different examples of the White House. So these 2 on the left I did with glue, and then the other one I did here I did with tape. So you can see how they look. Alright, thanks for doing the White House with me. For more fun videos like this, click here.